We are now less than 15 meters. Excuse me, we're now less than 15 minutes away from the estimated capture time of the Cygnus cargo spacecraft. However, there's plenty of room within that first capture window and plenty of capture windows after that if necessary. Cygnus is now less than 20 meters away from the International Space Station.
Station on 2 inside of 16 meters and no changes to the block Bravos.
Houston, copy.
Cygnus now within 15 meters of the International Space Station. On your screen now you can see the Cygnus cargo spacecraft, and on the left is the Canadarm robotic arm that will be used to capture Cygnus today.
Houston Station on 2, not sure if you ended up getting the second and third rounds of photos, but just a heads up that demo picture looks solid, it looks great.
Houston copies, we did get those photos and we concur on the fixture.
Cygnus has reached its capture point and a go-no-go poll is underway.
status, we are seeing some weather in Guam, and we expect that we might get some ratty calm on this path that we're on right now. With that said, you are primed for everything, so we are go ahead and stand by for capture.
Be on the comm, and we're standing by at 4.1.
Station Houston on 2, go for Cygnus capture sequence, step 4 in 1.110 Cygnus capture, begin monitoring the backaway cue card.
Copies, we are go for Cygnus capture.
At 12 meters away from the International Space Station, Cygnus is at its capture point, and once again, these are fueled thrusters that can autonomously fire if the International Space Station goes outside of its orientation, and we don't want them to go off when the robotic arm crashes. Good. The arm is 2.5 meters away from Cygnus. One meter away. We have capture and are standing by for snares closed. A journey to the International Space Station after its launch. A couple hours after launch, teams were unable to deploy one of the 2 solar arrays, and after much review and analysis, Cygnus was successfully able to be captured by the station's robotic arm at 4:20 a.m. Central, 5:20 a.m. Eastern Time.
copy is the range, and range rate is 0.32. And we are aiming for the MRM-2 docking node.
And this view is from the Progress vehicle. You can see in the lower left-hand section that top number 226 kilometers or meters away now from its docking to the poised docking compartment. Docking scheduled now just 12 minutes, 22 minutes, and 53 seconds from now. Time of docking, the rate of closure will be reduced to just 1/10 of a meter per second. Then at the point of contact to capture, the relative motion between the two vehicles will have to dampen out, which typically takes a minute or so. Then the forward docking probe will be retracted on the Progress to pull it in for a hard mate with the docking surface at the docking port of the poised docking compartment. Still in a fly around for about another 7 minutes. After fly around and station keeping, Progress will be given the go for final approach, looking for that go in about 10 minutes from now.
Minus 0.07 is the range rate, and we see the docking node on MRM-2, and we copy. You're continuing with the fly around. The image is really bright. I'm playing with the HSE mode to select the best view. Absolutely, you have a go to work with the HSE mode. I'm turning off operational работа. Copy.
Getting another view now from the truss cameras on the International Space Station of Progress. Progress in the International Space Station flying about 270 statute miles above the South Pacific Ocean.
Range is 70, range rate is minus 32, and the target is about 1.5. Okay, we are getting close to the range of 30 meters, and I am turning on BPS initial and then activation Enable, and I confirm, we confirm as well on our end.
36 meters away from the International Space Station.
24. Copy. Range is about 25 meters, and the target is off by about 1 square. Copy. The range is 6 meters. Copy.
About 6 meters now as you're talking.
The image is a little bit wonky. We're at about 4 meter range. Copy. We are standing by for contact. Standing by for contact and capture.
About 4 meters away, we're now standing by for contact and capture.
We are standing by for contact.
Japanese experiment module called Kibo, the Columbus European Laboratory, the truss itself, the crew vehicle. So lots to see in that picture as the Starliner moves in towards the International Space Station. Getting this imagery coming in of Starliner approaching the International Space Station at a distance of 47.5 meters, and the imagery coming in clear enough to show the entry cover that has opened over the nose of Starliner. That opened up yesterday, a little bit more than an hour after liftoff. Rendezvous officer reports that Starliner is in the 10-meter rendezvous box.
Station Houston on to Starliner is at the 10-meter hold. Perform step 7 in 1.102. And we're working on a finalized FAI as mentioned. And we are seeing really good video from the EHDC.
Station copies. We see the same 10-meter hold. Vehicle mode is hold. Step 7, we have brought up the 10-meter hold overlay and understand updated time for the initiation of docking is forthcoming.
Good read.
Starliner continuing to close in on the International Space Station at a distance of 5.3 meters, closing in at 0.05 meters per second. Alternating views between the International Space Station and the Starliner sensors themselves as they close in on the forward port of the Harmony module. Starliner looking to connect to the international docking adapter there at the forward end of Harmony. Docking ring extended. You can see some of the separation coming in with that inner ring. Those three pedals will $2 meters, Starliner coming 2 meters to the International Space Station. Contact, capture.
Soft capture confirmed.
Station showing good soft capture.
Boeing Starliner spacecraft completes its historic first docking to the International Space Station, opening a new avenue of access for crews to the orbiting laboratory.
That docking time comes at 7:28 p.m. Central Time. The International Space Station was 271 statute miles over the South Indian Ocean with the Starliner attached to its forward port.
Central Time, while the Dragon and the International Space Station were flying just over northern Ukraine, about 243 statute miles. Three hours and 25 minutes after the successful grapple of Dragon by the Space Station's Canada arm a little bit earlier this morning. So with that second stage capture, Dragon confirmed in place and docked to the International Space Station at the Harmony node.
And that is really the target that we're going for. And then once it is locked on, it will automatically deploy the soft capture ring. Again, that ring is composed of a ring.
Dragon, SpaceX on the big loop. Ground is go for approach 0. We will enable the maneuver shortly. Expected start time is 2017.
Times everything is very controlled and choreographed, and it's pretty cool to see Dragon just get closer and closer. We saw the crew in their seats earlier, all strapped in with their suits up
there. So I definitely noticed the excitement when we were doing the launch broadcast. Everyone was cheering very loud.
station and Crew Dragon are traveling at 17,000 miles per hour, 17,500 miles per hour around planet Earth. So while it looks like Earth is rotating slowly, it's actually going pretty quick. The station is roughly 250 miles above Earth. You can think of that as the distance from Los Angeles to San Francisco, or perhaps from Kennedy Space Center to Miami.
Crew 5, bring the crew complement to 11. Again, we're excited to get our Crew 5 astronauts aboard. That's the latest from here in Mission Control Houston. Back over to you, Hawthorne.
Is now less than 40 meters away from space station. In fact, it's now 37 meters and closing away from docking. You're getting a good view right now of the trunk with those solar arrays that we chatted about earlier. Once Dragon does dock, it will be receiving its power from the International Space Station. And you can also see some of those small thruster firings as we continue to close in on docking, just making sure everything is precisely aligned and that Dragon is directly in front of the International Docking Adapter. We're about 20 seconds away from waypoint 2 arrival. That Dragon has arrived at waypoint 2. Dragon is go for docking, just a few meters away from the space station now, but when we are about at the 2-meter point, you may hear a call called CHOP, and that stands for the crew hands-off period. While everything has been done autonomously today so far, when we do hear that call CHOP, it means that any re-rendezvous would need to be done automatically through Dragon, and the crew would not be initiating any of that.
As we get closer, we can see more and more of the Dragon vehicle. For those of you wondering what those 4 black circles are, those are the forward Draco thrusters.
SpaceX copies 10 meters.
And 10 meters away from space station now. And if you look at the Dragon capsule, you can actually see the side Draco thrusters thrusting, helping to steer Dragon closer to station accurately.
Should hear that call for CHOP here momentarily. There it was.
Copy, 2 meters.
2 meters, crew hands-off point. Happens about 25 seconds before contact. 1 meter.
Dragon, SpaceX on the big loop, contact and soft capture complete, attenuation in progress.
And contact confirmed. Dragon made contact with the International Space Station at 2:01 p.m. Pacific, just off the west coast of Africa.
Dragging into the International Space Station in almost a sun in the Uno daytime, 268 statute miles above the Indian Ocean.
Okay, the lead check has passed. You are go for ingress part 2 in step 3.1.
Studies aiming at optimizing protocols for long-duration flights. The results so far obtained proved we are on the right path.